Hello, Nick Jones with Pro-Mormon Ministries. I wanted to show you really fast a quick quote from the History of the Church by Joseph Smith. This is actually volume 6, and this is a quote pretty much in the middle. I want to tell you what was going on and then read you what he said. For those of you who aren't familiar with History of the Church, Joseph Smith always had historians with him. He always had people around all the time to record what went on. He thought that was really important for everything to be recorded. The books itself, there's 7 volumes altogether. The first volume is actually in the it's Joseph Smith History, the Pearl of Great Price. So that's actually part of it, the beginning of it. The book itself is actually published by the church, by the LDS Church, and copyrighted by George Albert Smith in 1950. So this is true LDS doctrine. Not doctrine, but history. Okay, this is what they really said, what really went on. This is page 408. And it says that, it kind of tells what was going on and then what happened. I can't forget where to read though. It says, President Joseph Smith read from the 11th chapter of 2 Corinthians. And my object is to let you know that I am right here on the spot where I intend to stay. I, like Paul, have been in perils, and oftener than anyone in this generation. As Paul boasted, I have suffered more than Paul did. I should be like a fish out of water if I were out of persecution. Perhaps, my brethren, think it's required all this to keep me humble. The Lord has constituted me so curiously that I glory in persecution. I'm going to skip a little bit to a part that I feel, he goes off and he's talking about persecution and he must have been having a bad day. Here's what I really want you to hear, so listen closely. I'm the only man that has ever been able to keep a whole church together since the days of Adam. A large majority of the whole have stood by me. Neither Paul, John, Peter, nor Jesus ever did it. I boast that no man ever did such work as I. The followers of Jesus ran away from him, but the Latter-day Saints never ran away from me yet. Pretty bold statement by Joseph Smith there, saying that not only is he better than some of the apostles, okay, I can maybe give you that, they were just men, but that he was better at Jesus than something. Obviously, Joseph Smith didn't hear Jesus when Jesus said, those who exalt themselves shall be humbled, and those who humble themselves shall be exalted. Boasting that he's better than Jesus at something, that's blasphemy. How can you agree with that? A lot of members of the church probably have never heard that before. They've never heard that quote. But it's in their history. The history of the church, it's right there. As I've told this to some people before, one thing I heard was, that's not really what, we don't know if those are real documents. They've been found out that we're not sure if everything in it is true. And that sounds good. That sounds like a kind of a way out for a member of the church, right? Okay, maybe that's one of the things that they don't know if it's true or not. But that reminds me of one of their articles of faith. We believe the Bible to be the Word of God as far as it is translated correctly. But what does that really mean? To me, it sounds like it gives them free rein to agree with or deny anything they want that doesn't match up with their doctrine that's in the Bible. They can take the Bible and they can say, this verse shows us that this means our church is true. Well, somebody can turn the page and say, well, what about this verse? This shows that your church isn't true. They can say that one isn't translated correctly. That doesn't make sense. Then they shouldn't use the book, the Bible. If they don't know if it's 100% reliable, then they shouldn't use it. That's like me going to a school going to a first grade classroom, giving them a first grade math book, and saying some of the problems in this math book are correct, some of them aren't. It's up to you, the first grader, to figure out which ones. Well, they don't know math yet. They're just learning it. How are they supposed to know? Especially out of something that's supposed to teach them what it is. If I'm teaching a student and I'm saying only 50% of what I say is true, it's up to you to decide which part isn't true. That's not a good way to learn. So my proposition is they shouldn't use the Bible if they think that it's not all correct. That doesn't make sense.